Okay, Ford Focus 2010 manual transmission. Most of the, in fact, I think all of the videos I've seen about replacing the passenger side CV axle are for automatics. On this one, the CV axle on the passenger side is a two-piece, and we won't be replacing the intermediate one. Hopefully not. We're just going to be doing the outer one. Unfortunately, my favorite Napa Auto Parts couldn't get it in till next week. Finally had to drive about 35-40 miles to AutoZone, the only one around that had it. So first we're going to take this 32 millimeter nut, and we're going to take that off. Probably help we put a little bit of penetrating oil. I've used penetrating oil just about every place we're going to have to take loose. So let me get this over here. We'll get this off, come right back. Crazy enough, mine did not have a Carter key in it, so I don't know if the last person just didn't put it back in or if it never came with one. Okay, next we're going to loosen this here right here. Here's the nut for that. Let me find out what size that is. That is 18 millimeter on the assembly clamp that holds the bottom of the strut. So it's on it pretty good. So let me get off here, get that loose, and we'll get to the next one. See where it's at. Okay, got that out. It really helps to soak this down even overnight before you work on it with penetrating lube. Really going to help. Okay, next I'm going to get in and turn my wheel back this way, and we're going to get in after that tassel nut right there. On this one, little castle nut was 17 millimeter. And it did have a Carter key in it. It's crazy that the CV axle nut didn't have one. Okay, now I'm just going to lightly take my hammer. Well, actually what I'm going to do is put that back on. Gotta get some threads, just a few. I need to look. Nope, gonna have to give her a hammer. Okay, let me go get it. I'll be right back. There we go. Okay, we're going to take that loose now. Now we're going to take the ball joint loose. I don't know if you can see it over there. It's so bright today. Okay, I soaked that down a couple hours ago with some penetrating oil. Now on this other side it has a Torx head. Now I've got to go find my Torx. Of course I have to be right in the sun on one of the hottest days so far this spring. I'm going to take a little break, go get me a drink of water, and then we'll come back and deal with this ball joint. Now I went ahead and took that bolt for the ball joint out. This is I believe a 14 millimeter, and this end was a Torx. Mine says 1/4 inch, so take it for what it said, what it was worth. So anyway, you can see there, that's pretty easy. Again, man, you do yourself a favor if you soak everything down with penetrating oil before you start. So now that actually looks like it's already loose. Let's see if I can get this. I'm going to take the brake caliper off first. We're doing a new brake caliper today anyway, so let me see if I can get that off. Okay, caliper's loose. And we'll pull it off and hang it up. For the time being, I just stuck the caliper up there. Replacing it today. What started all this is the caliper sticking. And so while I knew that the CV joint was going bad because it's clicking like, you know, when you're a kid, you put the playing cards with a clothesline in your bicycle spokes, click, 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 click. That's what I had here. And then when I got here looking, I found, oh, can you see that? I don't know. I can't see it. Oh, what am I looking? Oh, the sun. The sun is. There you go. There you go. Oh, and that's why I decided to replace that joint. CV axle, I mean. So, okay, let me get off here, and we'll try to get this whole rotor disc off. And I don't know if we need to. Something's got to move. We'll see. Ain't never done this on this car, so we'll see what we have to do, and I'll let you know. Okay, got that tied up there. Let's see if we can. There she goes, right there. Be careful not to hit your ABS sensor wire. That's loose. That would probably come off there. Looks like I may have to take the bracket for the yeah, I might have to take the bracket for the calipers off too. I don't know. Something given. Okay, well, let me get off here and use both hands. I don't have my tripod today, but as you can see, it's coming off the strut. And okay, I think I gotta take that off. Be right back. Okay, got the caliper bracket off. There's a better look. Look, hopefully you can see a better look of that CV axle. Okay, this hub is loose, the rotor is loose. Well, it was until I set that to the side. Okay. I should be able to get that out of there. Now that was loose earlier. Yeah, that's loose. So let me see if I can get that axle out of there, and then we'll go from there. See, it's loose. Oops. It's ready to come out. So let me get it out, and hopefully it will come off right there at the carrier bearing, because this is not a one piece like a lot of times they show you on the other YouTube channels. And maybe they have automatics, which I'm pretty sure they do. This is a manual, and everyone I've seen for a manual just has this first section, and that's called the intermediate axle, and you have to buy that separate most of the time. Okay, let me see if I can get this axle out. Okay, I got the strut off and the ball joint off, so now this whole assembly should come right off. See what I'm talking about? Ball joint's out and the strut's out. So let me just like that. Just like that. Wow. Hope that bearing's good. Wouldn't that be great if that thing just come right out? It won't, but let me work on it. We'll bring it right back. Okay, I got it off. Whew, man. Yeah, I hadn't had its better days. I had to get under there just in front, and you can see somebody else has done it too. This has been changed once before, but you have to hit that way. It's helpful if you got somebody standing out here pulling on it or kind of twisting it, but I didn't. So anyway, I hope this one I got from AutoZone is the right one. Wouldn't have done no good to have a tripod anyway under there. Okay, this one from AutoZone. You can see somebody used a hose clamp here and here to put the boot back on before. Yes. So okay, so here's the one from AutoZone. Comes with a new nut, not a castle nut either. So that's odd, but oh well. Yeah, gotta have some blood. Working on your own stuff just ain't right if you don't. Okay, it looks pretty close to being. This is slightly longer, but there's play in them. So yeah, see, I can push in on that one. Okay, this has pieces gone. I'm hoping that's off this piece and not the intermediate shaft. Probably could stand to be changed. But that's another 117 bucks and another 40 mile, or actually almost 50 miles, because the store where I got this didn't have it. It was at another store like 20 or 25 miles away. So, but I think right now the immediate concern was that one right there. Yeah. Okay, let me crawl under here, try to show you the end of the intermediate shaft. Okay, there's the end of your intermediate shaft. You see that? It's splined. That's your carrier bearing. That goes back into your transmission. You can see mine's been leaking a little bit. Yeah, like I said, this shaft needs replaced, but not today. I got to do some more work on the front end. I would really like to replace these bushings. They're getting kind of old. We'll replace the struts. So maybe when I do that, that has a greaser on it. It's been greased forever. Maybe when I do that, I'll replace that shaft right there. Usually I have grease all over this place. I cannot find no grease to put on the ends of that spline. I think I'll just hit it with some penetrating oil. Help the new shaft slide up there. Now you see, I don't know if you can see or not actually, there's grooves around that. I believe that's where this sheet metal shield thing fits in over that. So anyway, let me try to get that back on. I wish I could film this for you, but I can't even get a tripod under here. So let's see what I can do, and then I'll come back. Okay, I got a setting up in there, as you can see. No grease. I'm trying to find a good way to hold this to show you. I do have it started just a little bit. And I'm going to need to have it as straight as possible. I'm going to tap on the end of it. I'll unscrew this nut first. And use that to tap on the end of it, not hard. And see if we can get it going up on there. Because that splines were pretty dry. And I used, the only thing I had right now is some penetrating oil. So hopefully that'll help us. Wow. Let me get you straightened up again. Penetrating oil to the rescue. It didn't want to go up on there. And what I was doing was just both hands obviously doing that. And it went a little ways, and finally it just slipped right up in there. I think I got a little bit more ways to go. I don't know, because obviously it's on the splines. And you would think that this right here would ride right on this housing. You would think that would, but maybe it doesn't. Or maybe I just like a little bit more. So let me see if I can get a little bit more. Otherwise, I think we're going to go back with this. Okay. I've tapped it back out a little bit. Still trying to wonder if this doesn't... isn't some kind of like a dust cover that rides up against that. I'm about ready to say no because I've tried the screwdriver and I was thinking this slid, it does slid up in your carrier bearing a little bit, but I don't know if it slides all the way. So let's try it. Okay, I gotta have both hands. You see though, it's moving up in there, so let me get off here and try to get it seated all the way. Now I've used a hammer. You see, I still don't have it all the way up against there. But I'm not sure it's supposed to go all the way. It's not much further than it was. I'm afraid of damaging the CV. I keep hitting on it. I ain't hitting that hard. I think I'll tap a little bit more and just see. I don't know, I wish I could have some way to measure that. Yeah, there we go. Let me lay it down like that. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you're seeing it or not. Strut. It's in the way. Keeping me from hitting. Yeah, it's about the same. I think that's good enough. We're gonna give that a try. First I did wrestled the strut back into the assembly. Then I wrestled the ball joint in. I went ahead and tightened this one down. This holds the ball joint. Haven't got the nut in. Once I had them two on, and then I put the nut for the CV axle on. Wow. I think it was harder to get this thing back on than it was off. Now remember, when you go to put this back on, there's a fin back here. Where am I? That sun is just killing me. Okay, there's a fin on the back of your strut that goes in between these ears right here that tighten up to hold the, okay, you got to get that in there or nothing you will do will get that strut in there. So the bolt goes through that fin. There's a hole and the bolt goes through that fin. I guess it's alignment type thing. Also keeps it from coming out. So okay, let me get that in there, and basically we're going to go back together just like we came apart now. Wow, this thing's kicking my butt. First time I've done it on a little car, and I was real reluctant because it's so small. And I got big hands, I'm a big guy, and it's just hard. I was afraid it's going to be hard to get in there. It's really not that bad. But, you know, I still got to put pads on the other side. I got to, eventually, like I said, I was going to rebuild the front end, you know, put new bushings and stuff in because it's kind of loose. But, whoo! And I just tightened this till it bottomed out, and it won't turn because your car's in gear and the tire on the other side's in there. Well, it will turn, but you know, not easy. Not so you can't, so I couldn't get that tight. So anyway, okay, let me get the rest of this on, and I'll show you from there.